Hello Internet and welcome to Bazzle Stadium Live. We've got a new team to use this week, maybe next week, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, actually over the last week I have been, I've been building a new team, and here it is. I use the word building very loosely because this is a very, very, very simple team, to be completely honest. But like my hard trick room teams, I used that team a number of months ago now, like a couple of months ago, with the weakness policy Claydol with Sucker Punch on Lipard, and that was pretty fun, did better than I expected. The Lipard and Hatterene are the only recurring Pokemon, I suppose, on this team though, and they are a little bit different as well too. But this is, I'm going to call it my Magic Forest team, because I wanted to build it around the Alolan Marowak, really. I do like Marowak. I do like the original Marowak. I had some success with the original one. But essentially, I wanted to mess around with typings. And so we've got Magic Powder on Hatterene, which makes Ghost attacks super effective. Good for Marowak. And we've got Forest Curse on the Trevenant, which makes, fire attacks, super effective most of the time as well, too. Good for Marowak as well, too. Trevenant and Hatterene can work together as well too, because Magic Powder obviously makes this Life Orb Trevenant's Poltergeist move super effective. I did have, for the forest theme a bit more, I did have a weakness policy slow Frostmoth in this Escavalier slot, because Bug also is super effective on Grass, Bug is also super effective on Psychic, so it makes sense for a Bug to go in this last slot. But I went with Escavalier in the end, just because the team was a bit too weak to Tyranitar, essentially. So here we go. Let's jump in. Let's see if we can win anything. I guess the Lipard there and the Indeedee there are there to help get Trick Room up as well too. Worst case scenario, I'm getting Trick Room up with the Copycat, in which case my setter is Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing, so then I can't use Magic Powder or Forest Curse, unfortunately. But best case scenario is I do get Trick Room up without the need to Dynamax. Now this is one of those really fast defensive teams. This guy is guaranteed to lead with his Indeedee, and it will have Trick Room and it will have Imprison on it. So I kind of am forced to lead with Lipard, with Copycat, and either Hatterene or Trevenant. Which setter do I think is going to be better for us here? I think Hatterene, seeing as Fairy super effective against the Dracovish there, and Psychic super effective on the Toxtricity there. Marowak is good for the back as well too. But do we want? I think we want either Trevenant or Escavalier in the back. Normally I wouldn't take Lipard and Indeedee. They're a bit redundant having both of them. I just need one to get the Trick Room. But Trevenant or Escavalier here? Good question. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Trevenant, actually. Might be a mistake. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let's see how we go. So yeah, thank you very, very, very much to Kaz, who helped me get all of these Pokemon. Most of them, anyway. So yeah, thank you very much for helping me pull the team together. But yeah, let's see if it can actually do some business now. I do also like that this team, normally hard Trick Room teams do kind of struggle a little bit. Oh, there's no Indeedee, that's interesting. Do struggle a bit with Amoonguss, but we've got a lot of Pokemon on this team that are immune to Spore for various different reasons. Okay, so I was expecting the Indeedee from him because he could either Imprison or try and Trick Room to reverse my Trick Room. What I'm worried about here is him going for like a helping hand Max Steel Spike into Hatterene to one-shot it. I could get around that by going for either the Dynamax and the Copycat, but I am just going to bank on this Whimsicott not having helping hand and go for the Fake Out into it instead, and just try and Trick Room, because I really want to Trick Room without maybe a 9-head flinch we're going to get here then. Oh, an eject button, that's nice. I've got an eject button as well, you see. But yeah, I want to get Trick Room up without Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing, ideally, because then I can go for the Magic Powder and the Forest Curse and all that kind of stuff. So it is Ironhead. He is fishing for a flinch here, unfortunately. I have got the Babiri Berry, so this isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. But Lipard stays in as well. And we do get the Trick Room. Okay, so it would have been nice if Lipard got ejected out there, but the difference between this Lipard and the last Lipard that I used is I've got Fake Tears on this Lipard instead of Sucker Punch because there's no weakness policy here. So I can go for Fake Tears and attack into something, or I can just switch Lipard out. Yeah, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap Lipard into Marowak, and I'm going to just go for an Expanding Force into this Toxtricity. I'm not going to Gigantamax anything here. I don't think he'll be targeting into the Lipard. Now, this Marowak hasn't actually got Lightning Rod on it, which is one of the main reasons why I do quite like Marowak. Intentionally, it has got it on it, though. Just because I've got Flare Blitz on this Marowak, and it's actually quite nice to not take recoil from from the Flare Blitz, because it is a third. It is a lot of recoil. But also, I haven't got a Jellicent like I've used in the past, in the way past, or anything else water or flying that I'd really want to protect from. Is this? I hope this Cinderace is attacking into the Hatterene here. But anyway, it's something I really want to protect from electric attacks here. Oh, he's gone for Max Darkness. That's surely into the Hatterene. He wouldn't do this into the light, but would he? Would he? He would. Okay then. Alright then. I see you, Mr. Cinderace. That's a very interesting play there. So went for a Max Darkness into the Lipard. He must have expected the Lipard to switch out there then, which normally people don't, to be honest. So, interesting. Let's see what he's going to bring in now then. That is the Whimsicott. Okay. So, Life Orb and the eject button has been used there. Okay. So this is now a Dark type Cinderace. I can Gigantamax my Hatterene now for the super effective Smite on it. Do I worry about this Whimsicott resetting Trick Room though? Because I kind of want to at least get the confusion on that, or make a hard call on Trick Room myself. Maybe not. Or or what? I'm just gonna try and take this this Cinderace without Dynamaxing anything. If he does Trick Room, then I've got quite a lot of HP to try and get Trick Room up again. Okay. There was a bit of a delay there. I thought it was going to miss. Yeah, and this is a Life Orb Trevenant. Yeah. One shot Cinderace with an item. Yeah, that 90% accurate. The accuracy there was giving me a heart attack. I thought I'd missed it then. But yeah, and he doesn't reset the Trick Room. Okay, it's just Moonblasting. Is this even to knock out my Hatterene? It does, unfortunately. But I've still got my Dynamax, and he hasn't. Although the downside is I've only got my Lipard and Trevenant. Again, this Whimsicott isn't the biggest threat though, but we'll have to see what he's got in the back. But I really wanted to pull off something like that with the Magic Powder and this Dracovish. Okay, I think that's alright for us then, actually, because we are still in Trick Room. So I am going to Dynamax my Trevenant here. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, we could Forest Curse into our Lipard so we can take Fisher's Friend better and stuff, but no, there's no point in that. So we are going to Dynamax Trevenant here. Go for the Max Overgrowth. I guess, I mean, they're both the same, aren't they? Maybe I want the defense drop. Maybe I want the recovery. I'm not sure. Because yeah, they are both the same power. So I'm just going to go for a Max Overgrowth into it, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out into the Whimsicott just to stop it from doing anything. I think this Max Overgrowth will just one-shot the Dracovish anyway. And if it does protect, then going for a Fake Out in it or whatever doesn't really make any difference. I'm just just in case this Whimsicott has got you know, I don't know, Swagger or Attract or I don't know, something shenanigan like that. I think the Whimsicott is the bigger issue to potential spokes in the works of this game going through. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure this Trevenant, this massive tree, this huge Trevenant with a Life Orb will one-shot Dracovish. I think that's a knockout. I think. Unless it's got a Focus Sash on it. Did it survive? It did survive. Oh wow, okay. Okay, fair enough. And a defense drop from Trevenant as well. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay. Let's think then. Think, Barry. So the grassy terrain, yeah, it doesn't really do anything for anyone, and the defense drop wouldn't have really done much either. Because Lipo didn't take any damage, we don't see if it is a Scarf Dracovish or not, because we have got one more turn of Trick Room left, I believe, yeah. So, yeah, I think we're still fine. So I'm going to go for a Max Phantasm this turn, because even if you protect, you know, if it's not Scarf, this will knock it out, and get the defense drop into the Whimsicott as well too. But since he used Crunch, I'm actually going to go for a Copycat, and see if Lipard can knock out the Dracovish with its own Crunch, since it will be stab and everything. That was the last move used. Let's see if we can be cheeky here. Yeah, Lipard's crunching. Ah, it's into the wrong target, unfortunately. But, you know, a fake out, oh, okay. Alright, well, I've lost my Life Orb now, then. That's fine. Like, I've lost my Life Orb, so I'm now doing less recoil to myself, which is kind of nice, actually. And I'm just going to be scarfed into Woodhammer, I suppose. Woodhammer, because I mean, I suppose I can Poltergeist, because now this Whimsicott has got an item again. Yeah, the Whimsicott didn't have an item. Did have an item? No. Who did it? What? What? Who? He switched Sharoon in himself, didn't he? To try and get rid of the Choice Scarf. That's where the Choice Scarf came from. Yeah, that was confusing. Okay. And now, yeah. Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's just finish the game. If I Copycat, then that will use Trick. I could swap the Choice Scarf for my Eject button. Yeah, there's no point in doing this, but I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to do it anyway. Oh dear. Yeah, he's forfeit anyway. Okay, so yes, massive Trevenant, big tree, did some business, and yeah, we offset our Dynamaxing quite late in that game, actually, didn't we? Just because I knew the calculation on the Cinderace with my Life Orb Trevenant Poltergeist, I knew I didn't need to Dynamax to get the knockout on the Cinderace there. So yeah, nicely done, nicely done. Interesting that he did make the call that Lipard was gonna. Yeah, what's all that? I'm not reading that. Interesting that he did make the call that my Lipard was going to swap out. Nicely done by him there. So he did go for a Max Darkness into what was the Lipard. Yeah, I'm assuming he knows the type chart. But yeah, nicely done. And yeah, so we didn't get the combination of Magic Powder or Forest Curse and Marowak attacking that game, but we did get the combination with Trevenant. You know, so you know, got some backups here. But okay, so this guy again has got Indeedee. So I'm expecting the Indeedee lead again, and then we've got the mind games of, is he going to imprison, or is he just going to go for Trick Room himself? Because if I go for the Max and the Copycat, then if he just goes for a Trick Room, then you know he's just reset the Trick Room, hasn't he? So let's think about what we're going to do here. I think I'm forced to go with a Lipard again though, just because he has got the Indeedee. He has got the option there. Trevenant or Hatterene. I'm going to go with the Hatterene just because we've got the Bibiri Berry, and that gives us some insurance against the potential Cinderace, where Trevenant just can't survive an attack from it. But we will have, yeah, I think we do want Marowak in the back again, and either Trevenant or a Scavalier here. I mean, Trevenant is weak to the flying attacks on Gyarados. The Scavalier, yeah, I'm curious about this. A Scavalier, I'm gonna go with Trevenant again. But yeah, let's see how it plays through. Because if he leads with the Indeedee, then we've got mind games again. Unfortunately, turn 1. Okay, fingers crossed. So here's another question for you then. I know, like in the past, a few of you have said that I should open up like a Patreon thing. You know, just for a little bit of insight into my life here. I've been made redundant from my job thanks to the virus and everything. I have no income now, unfortunately, and I'm in a bit of a pickle. So, okay, so he's got the Grassy Surge here, so he can fake out. I can fake out as well. I can fake out on his Indeedee. But I'm also aware that, you know, a lot of other people are in a similar situation as well too. So, you know, would there be any point in me like setting up a Patreon if I could offer, I don't know, some like sets against people, or you know, use their teams, or you know, just like a shout out in a video? I don't know what I would do with that. I don't really know much about Patreon, but it's an idea anyway. So if I go for a fake out into his Indeedee, he could just go for a fake out into my Hatterene. If I go for a fake out into his Rillaboom, the Rillaboom could Gigantamax, so that's what I'm worried about. So I am going to go for the copycat. But this is one of the problems with this team. It is so sort of 50-50. You got to make the hard call, because if he goes for Trick Room with his Indeedee here, then that's the worst case scenario. That's the only thing really that's going to mess this up. Aside from if he goes for a fake out into my Lipard, which he could do as well. But instead he could be going for an Imprison, he could be Gigantamax, which is not, but he could have been Gigantamaxing his Rillaboom and going for a max drum beating into my Hatterene, which would have one-shot me without the Gigantamax. So fake out, into Lipard, that's not good. And now I'm ejecting out into Trevenant, I guess I'll go into. Makes the most sense. But he's probably imprisoning here. But at least the grassy terrain's up, so my wood hammers will one-shot this Indeedee. So I get to see the Focus Sash and the Miracle Seed. Okay. And it is in prison. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So now we know then that I can't one-shot this Indeedee. Alright, but the Indeedee has to stay in here. The Rillaboom is probably going to swap out into Gyarados, Cinderace. So I am going to go for... I'm going to go for a Wood Hammer into the Indeedee, because I do believe that is going to be staying in. But do I... I'm going to Smite into the Rillaboom, just because that gives the confusion chance on the Indeedee. It could knock itself out this turn. Okay. I'm expecting the Rillaboom to U-turn here. Okay, or a knockoff. Alright, that's doing a lot of damage to my Trevenant. Yeah, that's doing a lot of damage to my Trevenant. This Wood Hammer is probably going to take me out. Then with my own recoil. Yeah, oh dear, well this game went terribly. I mean, there is still some play here. I can still do something, but it's looking terribly. I didn't want to get Psychic Terrain for his Indeedee as well too, because that obviously is not good. So, yeah, I mean, this is just one of those games where it's like, you know, if you call the turn 1 right, then you win kind of thing, isn't it? And I guess it makes sense for him to go for the fake out and the Imprison there. So I could have gone for a fake out into his Rillaboom, you know, or whatever. It didn't really make a difference. And just attacked with my Hatterene. So in hindsight, that would have worked. I'm going to go into Lipard here, though. Unfortunately, my eject button has already been used. But he's going to Grassy Glide into my Lipard, I believe. So I'm going to go for it one more time. But I do believe this game is over now. I can get the Trick Room up here. Unless he goes for Trick Room himself. Yeah, without the eject button on my Lipard, I would have been able to got Trick Room up the next turn. And not lost my Trevenant for almost nothing. But, yeah, they are confused, so... I mean, I kind of hope they knock out my Lipard here. Yeah, Grassy Glide into Lipard. Okay, yeah, that's That is what we wanted, and hopefully, indeed, he hits itself in confusion here. Okay, or a mystical fire, that's fine. The unfortunate thing is my Hatterene is at -1 special attack, isn't it, as well? The good thing is we've got 4 turns of Trick Room here, and although it might not seem good, it kind of is good. The Hatterene is not going to be Gigantamax anymore, because now I can start magic powdering things, and I could potentially, depending on if he has got the Gyarados with the Intimidate in the back, I can potentially one-shot, Dynamax things with the super effective attacks. I don't need to magic powder anything this turn though, because I do believe a Dazzling Gleam is still going to knock out his Indeedee. I'm just going to check. Yeah, I am at -1 special attack, unfortunately. Grassy Glide isn't going to knock out my Hatterene either. Is he going to swap the Rillaboom into anything? Because I could go for a Poltergeist on that slot, expecting a maybe switch, if he wanted to like fake out again in the future. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Poltergeist, just in case he does swap. I don't think he will. The downside of going for... Okay, just Grassy Gliding. The downside of going for the Poltergeist here instead of the Flare Blitz is just the accuracy. We do get to see the animation though if we hit, which is always pretty cool. Poltergeist, yeah, I don't like that delay when it says it's about to be attacked by its Miracle Seed. Just because it's the same delay as when it misses. But okay, let's see if we can pull anything through. He has got his Dynamax. If he has got Gyarados, that is going to be a problem for us. But we'll see how much Poltergeist does. Yeah, there's the Gyarados. I mean, it could be Moxie. Please be Moxie. Please be Moxie. And the Cinderace, yeah, that's not too good. Oh, it is Moxie. Okay, then. So, I'm going to go for the knockout into the Gyarados. I've not shown Magic Powder this game. Magic Powder and Poltergeist. I'm assuming this Gyarados has got an item. Could maybe get the one-shot on it. I mean, it probably won't. A Dynamax. I mean, obviously it will a normal Gyarados, but... yeah, the Dynamax... Like, I need to hope this knocks it out. I mean, it might. It might, if it ain't got any bulk in it. You never know. Because the Cinderace... Well, yeah, we'll see. The Cinderace probably has got a Sucker Punch as well. Yeah, which it does. But this shouldn't knock out my Marowak. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, it's Life Orb, and it is a Dark type now as well, too. So, Magic Powder. Please be strong. Please be strong, Poltergeist. It's an Assault Vest one, so it probably is bulky. Yeah! It gets the one-shot. That is fantastic. And this is why I want... The game isn't over, but this is why I wanted to build a team with Marowak. You are powerful, Marowak. Okay, and we've still got Trick Room turns as well, too. So this is a Dark-type Cinderace. So in theory, I can just go for a Flare Blitz and a Dazzling Gleam, because if his Sucker Punch is 1, then the other one will knock it out. But Hatterene is at -1 special attack. So will a -1 special attack Dazzling Gleam one-shot a Cinderace? I'm not sure. In which case, he knows I'm -1 on the Hatterene. So he will be going for the Sucker Punch into the Marowak. I could protect Marowak and Dazzling Gleam here, because it surely is Sucker Punching the Marowak, but I'm just going to attack with both and see what we can get, I guess. Yeah, Sucker Punch surely into them. Oh, it's into the Hatterene. That's fine. So I believe this Flare Blitz will knock it out. Yeah, maybe he called my call that I would protect the Marowak. Flare Blitz is a very powerful attack. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That Cinderace is not surviving that. Oh yeah, what a game that was. Oh yeah, Dynamaxing the Trevenant in the first game and one-shotting a bulky, assume bulky Assault Vest Gyarados in the second game without my Dynamax as well too. That was good. That felt good. And that is the power of Marowak. That is the power of Poltergeist. it's also nice that using Poltergeist, you get to see what their item is as well, too. So it's like a pseudo frisk as well. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me, guys. Let me know all of your thoughts about, everything that I've said. I hope you like the team. Let me know what you think to it, and the whole Patreon idea, if there's any legs in that at all. What I could use as, like, perks or whatever as well, too, in that. Yeah, join me again for Wednesday's video, which will be the next one. And, wow. I need to have a sit down after that. Thank you very much, and goodbye for now.